Need to show my vaccine and the phone died, so it's a waiting game. So I have signed on, I've got all my goodies. There's a race plate in here, there's a lift pass, get geared up and give it a send in practice. First day of practice, doing it right. Le pain de chocolat. Good, isn't it? We're on our way up for the first practice run. Weather looks great, the track looks super dusty, so let's wait and find out what it offers. Right, here we are, Masters Worlds. Let's have it! Oi, oi! Definitely going to be a little loose. Come race run, this will be a pedal, but look at that for a view. Hip, another loose off camber corner. Make sure we get on the inside. It's blown out. Better off just going slow to make this outside. Stay high and then drop into this. Like this, super loose. The off camber. This is so blown out. This line you don't need to brake as much on the inside. Open her up. A lower line to carry our speed. Cut across, in between there, gap across, gap over, gap to the inside, open this turn up. Last jump and into the finish. That was practice. Now let's go treat ourselves to a bit of lunch. We've got 2 hours before practice continues, so let's get it. Beats the processed sandwiches I've had all week. Right, here we are then. We've had a lovely lunch. We're now on our way up. I've admittedly done a run without you guys to have a little scope and have a little look, and the track has changed so unbelievably much, so blown out, so some of my lines have changed somewhat just to go for the support. So when I was doing the track walk yesterday, I wanted to gap in. Now the way things are, it's such a big gnarly compression. A lot of people are actually going on that left hand side. You almost jump that little hump there, stay left, you can almost jump from there to flat, and it's actually not too bad. Let's get it. So little outside line here. This track has somewhat changed from earlier. Tomorrow we're going to be hitting this so much faster. Even that is so off camera and loose. There's no commentary. Whoa. Sorry, mate. Whoa, I literally couldn't see anything, then a dust man arose. There we go. That track has changed so unbelievably much. It's so rough now. Super good fun. I didn't really have any energy to sort of give commentary. Bit of washing and then dinner time, I think. This is the dream, innit? There's my bed. Better go get a shower. Living the dream. Look how loose it's got, man. So we've got two choices. You've either got the inside. The problem is then there's not a chance of getting up high for the next berm. What you have actually got is basically what's Luke Rooney's dad, head on sun inside there, and then carry this high line. Now he's doing inside, which then enables you to cut straight across. But this is just literally like dust. Up high there, literally got on the inside, because this is blowing out. Better off just going slow, make this outside. And inside there, which I don't think is going to be the one. Right, let's do it then outside. And then you can go up high there. So all of a sudden, there's all these new lines that have opened up. You can see how loose and rough the main line is. If you go up high here, it's going to open up that turn. Could potentially get on that inside. It's honestly so dusty. Or we just hit the berm and get that support. If you're committing going up here like he is, it might be worth getting that inside, but that didn't look too bad at all hitting the main line.
Where are we going?
That track has changed so much. All the little lines that I did have now all changed again, where they've just been blown out to smithereens where a few other people have found them. Now I think mainline is the one. Even though there's loads of holes, it just means that you get that extra bit of support. So as you can tell by my voice, there is so much dust on the track. Tried some little alterations which would be cool to have a look at and see, you know, if they're marginally quicker or whatever.
Right, this line you don't need to brake as much. I'm going to try.
But all in, I think it's just a case of just trying to stay smooth, try and, you know, keep your flow as much as possible. Okay, smile. How's the cameraman? Wee. Cool. Merci. Right, come on then. Using so much time gapping that. This is bloody good fun. Oh, that's so loose. That's hard. It's okay, man. It's okay, no worries. That is brutal. That is so brutal on the body and so much dust, so loose. But I think it's a blimmin' fun track. Let's wash up and bit of lunch, and then we go back to the drawing board. There's a few lines that I definitely want to try out, so let's wait and see. Lunch has come down a peg or two today, but wouldn't really say this is that frozen anymore. To be fair, the whole reason I went for an ice cream is my throat is absolutely killing from the dust. So today is seeding day. I'm working my way up to the start of practice, and last night I put the Onza porcupine tyres on, which are basically like a half cut spike, and I thought it might be better because of how dusty it is to give these a go. So the only annoying thing is, probably can't hear it, the spoke nipple's still in the rim. It's driving me mental, but it is what it is. Let's go to the top, give it a go. Here we are, it is seeding day. We're at the start, and as you may notice, I changed tyres last night, so we're trying to ride like a bit of a half-cut tyre. Track is super dusty. First couple of practice runs, we're sort of going to gauge, feel, see what it's like, and then go from there. Done. Done. Those tyres, literally game changers. We've just finished practice. We've now got 3 hours to sort of just chill, taking the views, and then we're going up for seed and run. There's not really much else I can show you guys because we're not allowed cameras. I'm all armoured up. I'm now on my way up to seed and run. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Oh, yeah. Here we are, we're on our way up to the top. The run went pretty well. I stayed on, that's a bonus at least. Unfortunately, I had a few little moments where I just stalled in some of the corners. The way the track is, that's inevitable. So we're gonna go up to the top, we're gonna have a walk down the track, and we're sort of gonna see where we can refine those extra split seconds. I'm at 15th, but we'll keep you updated on that. Let's go to the top and walk down the track again. So when you have a little look like that, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one from last to go down, so the track had all those riders first. Let's go check it out. Here we are then, the start of the track, same. As soon as you're in this position, it's quite nerve-wracking because the beeps are counting you in and you're literally like, oh my god, I've got to throw it all down. Nice start gate, look. And then we're straight into it. It's quite rough, we've got a compression and then a jump. This bit of the track hasn't really changed too much, but let's go have a little look. Yeah, that's me, I think. This turn is actually surprisingly difficult when you're coming in sprinting, because obviously, as you can imagine, training, you're never going at race pace. So then all of a sudden at race pace, this corner becomes quite a tight right. This jump is actually surprisingly fun. It's really floaty. It's quite dusty on landing with a couple of holes as well. As soon as you do land, you want to try and get all your braking done here before that left hander, which is actually surprisingly loose. This is where the carnage starts. So I've changed my line a few times over the weekend, whether or not it's a good thing having all these practice days, because the problem is the track was running absolutely mint, and then more and more people rode it, and then it got blown up, so all the lines that were appearing then decided to go away again. This actually was a really cool line where you came on the inside, you then hit this little berm, went on that high line and then touched round, and then you got the higher line up there. But unfortunately, I mean, look at that, it's just not doable now. There's been so many riders come down it, it's literally riding a beach. As you can see, there's no support, where everyone's just ended up having boo-boos and gone on that inside line anyway. So we're going to stick with the rut. We're going to do the inside, where we come flying on down here. You know, it's not amazing, but there is a tiny rut there which will catch us. When you're on the inside, you're getting the grip over the outside line. However, it's key when you get to here that we end up making sure that we try and get onto that outside, because if we get stuck on the inside, we're just going to square that corner off. You certainly don't want to go on that inside, because then you're just in all this powder. You want to try and get this rut, which then means that you can just carry your speed. Look at that. Flippin' heck. Not many people have used this right hand line, purely because there's two compressions. So what I'm actually doing now is utilising this little stump, and I'm getting into flat, which poor bike's going to thank me for it later, but it just means then you've got the speed rather than having to fight all those off camber routes, and it also means that you're a lot straighter for the next section. It's actually quite a sizable gap when you think I'm just doing a big bunny hop to flat here, but I honestly think it works better than going on this inside. I mean, look at the holes in this now, at least by gapping there already almost in between these two lines, and then you're pretty much straight lining into the next section. I've chosen to run the spike tyres for a number of things. One, because the dust at the top is mental now, but there's also so many loose off camber corners on the grass here, so you can imagine a normal tyre is fast rolling, but it probably doesn't cut into the grass as much as what a spike does. There's not too many hard packed sections here, so it's not going to make a great deal difference to speed. If you remember when we did the track walk, this was like the main line as such, but it meant a bit of a wiggle. People are coming hooning on down there. There's still a few people doing that line. Oh, look how dusty it is. This is just setting us up nicely for the next part of the turn, which means there's plenty of catch there. The middle line seems to be a lot straighter and a lot smoother than that higher line, and you're not really going to gain much by getting on the outside. It's quite a gnarly line actually for those that are dropping on the inside, but you can see how they're on the brakes so much here, when the guys coming around here are just going to be off the brakes and then just carrying speed a bit more. I did actually try this higher line, but now it's getting to the stage where it's so boggy, it's a bit unnecessary, so therefore we can just hit the main line. We've got a nice catch on that berm anyway. This bit is actually a pain in the backside, because as soon as you come into this, it's so blind as a brow. And then we've tried both. We've got the right hand line, which is more direct, you can see exactly what's coming up, but it means there's this little snake that you got to do, or left hand line, which just means you have to get on the brakes slightly so you know what's coming. I'm actually doing is jumping from that stump over. There is an inside, there is an outside, but I don't know, for some reason I like jumping from there over and in.
Right, this line you don't need to brake as much on the inside.
There's the main line that goes all the way down, but as you can see, that berm has literally got blown out, so that's why this upper line or this high line's been opened up, which means then you can almost square off that whole corner all the way high, which then opens up the next turn, opening up this turn, which then sets us up. Hardly anyone's used that inside now, so this literally has become the main line. We're going to try and stay on the left hand side if we want to land just the other side of that rock where we've got a nice downslope, and then we want to try and stay as high left as possible to open up that next turn, trying to get as wide as possible, then we're not having to brake as much. And there we go, there's that jump all the way into the finish. Then we cross the line, and there's the fantastic hot seat, which I don't think I'm going to be seeing, that's for sure, but it certainly looks good, so well done to the organisers. Here we are then, we are on our way up to first practice of race day. Seeding went pretty well actually, ended up 15th, which, you know, considering I had a few stalls in the bottom woods, wasn't too bad at all. First split I was 9th, if I can get away with a top 10 that would be the dream. On our way for the last practice before race run, we've left it to the last possible minute, so hopefully the track is very similar to what it's going to be for race runs. Let's go check it out.
Elle occupe la 2e place de la catégorie dames.
Here we are taking in the views as per normal. We're going to do a practice run all the way to the bottom, and then that is it before race runs. Hopefully the track isn't going to change too much. There's what, 280 odd riders before my go again, so it's going to change a little, but hopefully not too much. There's a lot of holes that have occurred. Hopefully now a lot of people have sort of gone back down to the bottom to get a drink and chilled. I want to just try and get a full run under my belt, not race pace, but you know, just nice and chilled all the way to the bottom, see what we can do. Let's get it. So the next time I walk up here, I'm going to be slightly more nervous. There's the start. Right then, we've left a bit of a gap, so hopefully we might be able to get a full run in. Here we are. So next time we're going to be here, it's going to be quite a bit different. Just chatting, YouTube. Right, here we go then. Let's get it. Au revoir, merci. Love it. Right, out wide, this is where it's getting a little bit gnarlier, a bit cut up. Whoa, that's drifty! Right, this is where it's very dusty. Still on the inside. Try and get on that high. Nice. Out wide. Gap across, out wide. Wow, so bumpy. Main line. Can't get up high. So hard. Just trying to get a full run. So blown. Gap. Out here inside. Go up high, go inside. Legs are feeling it. Go wide. You can tell the commentary's gone out the window now. Inside. Got nice and high here to cut in, because that is extremely loose. With the high line, yes, you've got it. And there we go. Final jump into the finish. I did try and manual them, but I'm too fatigued. Right, stoked. That was the last full run before race run finals. Loving it. So we've come down, we just washed the bike. We're in a bit of a catch-22 because I've snapped a spoke. Now, I haven't got any spare spokes. Time is limited. That is the problem with doing a run when we did. It's not as though we've got a factory set up waiting for me. It's literally me and a bed in a van. So I think for now I might just cut it out so it doesn't get wrapped around, and fingers crossed the rest hold up. So we went for the safe option. We managed to blag a spoke. Thank you so much, Dave List. Hopefully that should be all it needs now. We're going to get the bike ready, we're going to get a spot of lunch, and then we're going to head up for race run. As you guys well know, I can't take you with me, so we'll wait and see, fingers crossed. In there is a few spoke nipples. I've tried my hardest to get them out, but they don't want to come out, so we've just taped it back up, and they're there as a lucky charm for us. Do we know how to get ready for a race run? Well, of course we do. We've got the plug ready to get the phone on charge, so I know exactly how to get home on the old sat nav later. We've got the pizza going on, and we've gone for half a slice, probably end do quarter, have quarter later on. We've got the classic Orangina, and the bike is just chilling. We are ready to rock. So much dust in my body right now, I don't think oily hands on a pizza is going to make that much difference. Look at the state of me, man. Get me home. End of lunch break. Let's get suited and booted, ready for race run. That is it, I'm suited and booted. I'm on my way up that hill for my race run. Wish me luck, I'll see you on the flip side. Oi, oi. Au revoir, le proup. Well, there we go. That is a wrap here at Pra Loup. I managed to get 12th, which I'm pretty happy about. I made one little mistake down the bottom, so I didn't quite get in the top 10. But pretty happy to go away unscathed. And the fact that I'm 12th fastest 35 to 40-year-old in the world is something pretty cool. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, be great if you give it a thumbs up. Be sick if you subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you in a bit. Oi, oi.